Boudicca was the queen of the Iceni, a Celtic people who lived in what is now eastern England. In the years 60 to 61 CE, she led one of the fiercest revolts ever launched against the Roman Empire. Her story is one of humiliation, vengeance, fire, and a woman who nearly tore Roman Britain apart. Picture ancient Britain on a gray, bitter morning. Mist hangs over wet fields. Dark forests stretch across the horizon. Mud clings to travelers moving along narrow paths. Then cutting through this old Celtic world comes something hard, straight, and foreign, a Roman road. Rome had arrived in Britain, bringing soldiers, taxes, stone buildings, and the weight of empire. At first, the Iceni lived under an uneasy arrangement with Rome. Their king, Persutagus, ruled as a client king, meaning he kept some local authority while Rome held the real power. It was not freedom, but it was peace of a kind. Then Persutagus died. The Romans moved in fast. They seized property, called in debts, and according to ancient accounts, Boudicca was publicly flogged while her daughters were assaulted. Whether every detail survived history perfectly, the meaning is clear. Rome humiliated a queen in front of her people, and in doing so, created a deadly enemy. Boudicca began gathering support from other Britons who were tired of Roman rule. Across the land, word spread quickly. Messengers rode muddy tracks. Torches burned in the dusk. Horns sounded across hills and forests. Tribal leaders gathered around fires. The time for submission was over. Ancient writers describe Boudicca as tall, fierce, and commanding, with long hair and a powerful voice. Even her enemies remembered her. She was not a shadow in history. She was a force. Her first great target was Camulodunum, modern Colchester, a Roman colony and symbol of occupation. To the Britons, it was proof that Rome believed Britain belonged to Rome. Then came the attack. War cries, drums, running feet, a wave of fury crashing into the town. Camulodunum fell, and fire rose into the sky. Next came Londinium, modern London. Back then it was a young Roman settlement on the River Thames, busy with trade and ambition, but Rome could not save it in time. The governor, Suetonius Paulinus, abandoned the city. Carts rattled away. Families fled with what they could carry. Smoke rose in the distance. Then Boudicca arrived, and Londinium burned. After London came Verulamium, near modern St. Albans. By now, southern Britain was reeling. One Roman center after another had been devastated. Burned beams collapsed into streets. Roads were littered with wreckage. The smell of ash hung in the air. For a brief moment, Boudicca must have seemed unstoppable. She was a queen wronged by empire, and she had answered with fire. She united tribes, shattered Roman confidence, and turned conquered land into a battlefield. Rome had conquered much of the known world, yet here on the edge of that world, a woman from Britain had made it bleed. But rebellion is not the same as victory. Suetonius Paulinus gathered what forces he could. They were fewer in number, but they were Roman soldiers, trained, disciplined, and deadly in formation. The final confrontation came at the Battle of Watling Street, somewhere along the Roman road system in the English Midlands, though the exact location is still debated. Picture the battlefield. Open ground, woodland at the edges. Britons gathered in huge numbers, shouting, armed with spears and swords, confident after burning 3 major Roman settlements. Behind them stood wagons and families, expecting to see Rome destroyed. Across from them stood the Romans, still, tight, ordered, shields ready, waiting. Then came the collision. The Britons surged forward with speed and fury. The Romans held formation, launched their attack, and drove into a larger but less organized enemy. What worked in raids and burning towns did not work the same way in a full battle against hardened Roman troops. Momentum turned, then broke, and with that, the revolt collapsed. Boudicca's final fate remains uncertain. The traditional story says she either fell ill or took poison rather than be captured. Her burial place is unknown. In a way, that mystery suits her. She appears in history like a storm, leaves destruction in her wake, and disappears into legend. Boudicca still matters, because her story is bigger than battle. It is the story of what happens when an empire confuses fear with loyalty. Rome thought Britain was under control. Boudicca proved that control can be an illusion. Rome tried to break her. Instead, for one blazing moment, she made the empire burn.